guys, so today is day 2 of me uploading a Halloween set every day here in October. So for today's set, I'm going to go a bit more of a gory horror route. I'm going to be doing like this really creepy, gory bones set. So to start off, I'm going in with this nude gel polish and applying that to all of my nails. I already applied some primer to these tips. I've been having issues having the gel polish stick to the tips, so I've been applying primer to them, and that has really been helping the gel polish adhere better. So like I said, I'm going in, applying this nude to all of the nails, curing for 60 seconds. I do 3 layers of that total, and I cure each layer for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to take this red gel polish from Madam Glam, this brown gel polish from Beetles, and a little bit of my black from Model 1s. I'm going to place the colors out on my palette, and I am going to be mixing some of them together to create different shades of red and brown. I do also place a little bit of that nude down on my palette. And then I'm just going to take a dotting tool and mix up some different shades of the red and brown. I take some red and some brown and mix it together to make like a brownish red. I mix a little bit of black into the brown to make the brown a little bit darker. I think I also mix a little bit of black into some red also to make a darker red. My thought behind this was to create like different shades of blood. So obviously the bright red will be like fresh blood, and then the darker it is, the older it is. So after I get all these colors mixed up, I am just going to take like a sponge, like a makeup sponge, and rip off some little pieces of it, and then use that to sponge on the different colors to try and get like a bloody, dirty looking type of skin like look to it. So I just kind of dab on the different colors. No rhyme or reason as to where I'm putting the colors or how I'm putting them. I just dab some on, and then I flash cure that, and then I go over it with some more to deepen those colors, because when you sponge it on, you don't get the full opacity of the colors. So you do have to kind of layer them on, and because it is gel polish, you have to cure in between those layers. So I just flash cure real quick with my little cure lamp, and then I just do that to all of the nails. As you can see, I'm just taking my little sponge and dipping it into the colors, kind of tapping out a little bit of the excess, and then going in and dabbing it onto the nail. I don't change the sponge piece in between each color, so it all kind of just ends up getting mixed together anyways. I do, however, change the sponge pieces in between each nail just so the colors don't get too mixed up together. Once I'm done sponging on the different colors onto the nails, I do a full cure for 60 seconds to make sure everything is completely cured. Here I am applying my matte top coat to all of the nails, and then I am going to cure that for 60 seconds. So once my base is fully cured, I'm going to take these 40 UV gels that I got off of Temu and mix them together to create a bone color. These are just like sculpting gels, so they are a solid gel. They're pretty soft. They kind of feel like chewed up gum when you're like molding them, and when I was kneading them to create the color that I needed. And since these are gel, you do want to wear gloves when handling them because you don't want to develop any allergies. Um, since I do have nails currently on right now, I did cut the tips so the nails could stick out through the tops of the gloves, and I'd have a good fit and they weren't like stretched out and not fitting properly. So when I grabbed these colors out, I really wanted to grab a white to make the color lighter, but I thought I didn't have a white one of these sculpting gels, but after mixing these three colors up and it just wasn't the right color, I was going to take some white gel polish and put a little bit of that in, but then I did end up finding that I did have a white one of these gels. It's just that the design on the lid was in black, so I just assumed that that would be a black one of these gels and not a white one. So after mixing the nude, yellow, and brown, it was a pretty yellow color. It was mostly where I wanted it to be. It was just a little too bright, so I needed to kind of mute it with the white. So I added a lot of white to it and then finally mixed it up to be this kind of off-white cream type color, which was perfect for the bones. I'm going to be using these different silicone tools to help me mold out the different bones that I'm doing. This was my first time using this sculpting gel. I really didn't know how to use it or how to go about using it at first. You molding it with my hands and like rolling it around in my hands, it would warm up and get pretty sticky, but when I was using the tools, the silicone tools, it really wasn't all that sticky. It wasn't sticking to the tools at all. I did have a little bit of troubles sticking it onto the nails. It didn't always want to stick onto the nails. I feel like I probably should have had a base coat down and it would have helped for the sculpting gel to stick to the nails while I was sculpting it and not like fall off or slide around too much. So I don't really know how to explain really what I'm doing. Really all I'm doing is just smushing it around with this silicone tool to try and get it to look as close as possible to the real thing. I did have a picture of some bones off to the side that I was looking at to follow and to try and sculpt these out to look similar to them. So if when you're doing this, you just want to kind of mess around with it until you get it how you like it, and then you can cure it. And you can take as long as you need to doing this. It is gel, so it's not going to harden up on you. It won't harden up until you cure it. Once I got it how I wanted it, I did take my little flash cure light and just really quickly flash cure it so it would stay in place and I wouldn't end up hitting it or bumping it and messing it up before moving on to the next nails and sculpting out the other bones. So usually when I do 3D elements on nails, I sculpt them out with polygel. I've never attempted to even sculpt anything 3D with acrylic. I move way too slow for that, so I've always just used polygel because it won't harden up until I cure it and I can take as much time as I need to. Sometimes though with polygel it can end up running and kind of getting a little bit messy. So sometimes you do have to be a little bit faster with the polygel, whereas with this like sculpting clay stuff, you don't really have to be all that fast. It's not going to run around on you. Although I did have some spots where it would slide off just because it wasn't really sticking to the nail all that great. Like I said, it probably would have been better if I had a base coat down to help stick it on a little bit better, but I didn't think about that before going in with this. I thought it would be fine and would stick fine to the nails without it. So after I got all the bones on, I did stick my practice hand in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. And then I started thinking and wondering if it was actually fully cured, even down into the middle layers. Just because this is such an opaque color and it is a little bit on the thicker side, I just wanted to be safe, so I did put it in the lamp for another 60 seconds. I know that I'm not doing this on myself, so it kind of really didn't matter, but I also didn't want to risk these bones to like fall off or crumble or anything with it not being fully cured. So that was going to be my final step, but then when I was looking at the nails, they just kind of looked unfinished. So I decided I was going to add some more of the red, brown, and black to create like some more blood on the nails. And I was going to have it be a contrast from the matte background to like what the new blood that I was creating to be like dried blood and fresh blood, but then I wasn't liking that, so I did end up just going in and redoing the entire background with the red, brown, and black, and just like I was just kind of putting them on and like swirling them around, and I wasn't really blending them all the way, but I was kind of blending them a little bit to kind of give it some dimension, kind of like it was a pool of blood. And when I was doing this, I wasn't being super careful to not get it onto the bones, because I did want some of that to be on the bones. I even went ahead and applied some of it straight onto the bones to make them look like they have some blood on them. At this point, I was just trying to make it look as gory as I possibly could. So I was just adding on the red and the brown and the black in various different areas, and adding it onto the bones. I would add quite a bit to the bones, but then I would also kind of do like that dry brush technique to kind of make it look a little more splattered on, kind of. And then once I got it how I wanted it, I would take my flash cure light and just flash cure it real quick before moving on to the next nail and repeating the same process. I would go in with the red first and apply that to the entire nail, and then I would go in with the brown, apply that in some areas, blend it out, swirl it around, and then I would go in with the black, do the same thing, blend it out, swirl it around, and I would just go back and forth between the red, brown, and black, and just applying them, swirling them around, blending them out a little bit, but not too much, because I didn't want them to create just one color. I wanted you to see the different colors and the different shades in it, because I wanted that dimension. And with my brush, I would just quickly wipe it off onto a paper towel to get off any like excess gel polish before switching and dipping into a different color. I didn't do a full clean like I usually would between switching colors. I just felt like it was a little unnecessary and would take too much time. I also felt like it helped to blend those colors out a little bit. And then once I got the blood on, I did go in with my matte top coat, and I went over all of the bone pieces because I wanted the bones to be matte, because if you look at bones, they are matte. So I just very quickly went over those, and then I cured for 60 seconds. As you can see, I'm not really being too careful with it. I'm just quickly putting it on, and if it got onto the bloody parts, that was fine, because I was gonna go in afterwards with my shiny top coat and go over that all. I did go over some of the blood that was on the bones, like the larger splotches of blood. The smaller ones I kind of just kept matte because I felt like it would look like they were thinner splatter spots that had dried out already, versus the larger spots that were still wet and fresh. And then I did go back around onto the background and make sure all that was top coated with a shiny top coat, and then cured again for 60 seconds. And this is how they came out. I absolutely love these nails. I love how gross and gory they are. This is my favorite, like, Halloween aesthetic, is like the gore and the horror. I know some people like the more cutesy stuff, which I do have plenty of sets coming up that are more on the cutesy side, but because I do like the horror and the gore, I had to include some sets that do have that, this being one of them, and I am so happy with how they turned out. They came out way better than I expected. I'm super glad that I changed the background too. I just feel like this looks way better and way more put together than the original background that I had done. And so far, this set right here is my favorite set that I have done out of all the Halloween sets that I have done so far. I just can't get over how gross they look. I absolutely love them. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.